What if I told you the biggest limitation to your success isn't your resources, your network, or even the economy, but it's actually your vision? Have you ever felt like you were meant for something greater, but you couldn't quite see the path forward? Jim Rohn once said, "Success is something you attract by the person you become." And today I'm going to unlock a powerful vision for you for the ability to see beyond the natural and step into a higher level of thinking, action, and results. See, vision is what separates those who simply exist from those who transform the world around them. But vision isn't just ambition, it's a combination of faith, mindset, and action. And Zig Ziglar said, "You were born to win, but to be a winner, you must have a plan to win, prepare to win, and you have to expect to win." And today we're going to deep dive into how vision is birthed, sustained, and activated in every area of your life. Have you ever noticed how two people can look at the same situation and completely see different realities? See, one sees obstacles while the other sees opportunities. But what makes the difference? It's vision. And vision isn't about what your eyes perceive, it's about what your minds believe. When you shift your focus from limitation to possibility, you start unlocking doors that seem permanently shut. Now, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into the power of seeing beyond the natural. See, Tony Robbins teaches that where focus goes, energy flows. And Proverbs 29:18 tells us, "Where there is no vision, the people will perish." Without a vision, you drift into a life without purpose. But when you align your mind, faith, actions with clear vision, you create momentum that is fuel that lasts forever. So your life is controlled by what you focus on. Focus on limitations, you'll see obstacles. Focus on possibilities, and you're going to see opportunities. But before you can walk in the fullness of your vision, you have to expand your mindset. Imagine a caged bird that has only ever known confinement. If you suddenly open the door, it may hesitate, unsure with the vast sky before it. Many of us living with our own mental cages by the past failures we have and the limiting beliefs that we have, or fear of the unknown. But the moment we choose to shift our thinking to believing in possibilities rather than limitations, we break free. Expanding our minds means to be daring to see beyond what is in front of you, stepping into your fullness of what's possible. And the way you perceive yourself, your capabilities, and your potential are going to directly impact the vision that you hold for your future. If your mind is stuck in limitations, your vision is always going to be confined to small possibilities. But when you shift your thinking, you open your doors to limitless opportunities. A true vision isn't something that we can manufacture, it's something that we have to step into. And Bob Proctor taught that thoughts become things. If you can see it in your head, you can have it in your hands. Your vision is a direct reflection of your mindset. If you're waiting for the perfect condition, you're missing the point. Your vision is activated when you decide to believe in what is actually possible for your life. And Hebrews 11:1 says this, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen." And faith is the fuel that keeps your vision alive, even when nothing around you suggests it's possible. It's the belief in what has not yet manifested, the confidence in unseen potential. See, Tony Robbins says this, "Your brain is like a heat-seeking missile that is going to hit the target, or it's gonna find a way to get to the target. Just as a pilot doesn't just take off without a flight plan, your mind needs to have a clear destination. You need to know exactly where you're going, because without direction, you remain stagnant. But with a compelling vision, you begin to attract the right opportunities and resources. You have to give your mind a vision that is so much bigger than your current circumstances. Your vision must be so big that it scares you, but so clear that it excites you. Consider the story of Elisha and his servant in 2 Kings 6, verse 15 through 17. The servant panicked when he saw enemies surrounding them, but Elisha prayed, open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see. And suddenly that servant saw heaven's armies encamped around them. The principle aligns with what Napoleon Hill taught when he said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So your success is not determined by what you see in the natural, but it's actually by what you believe in the unseen. And that belief is going to fuel the actions that you take. And when you start aligning your thoughts with the vision, something powerful is going to happen. Because you're going to shift from merely hoping for change to actively creating it. Because your vision is just a preview of life's coming attractions, right? You have to see it, believe it, and act on it. Because belief alone will not move the needle, but action will. So take, for example, Thomas Edison, right? What did he do? He held a vision of bringing the electric light into the world. He didn't just have an idea, or he didn't just believe an idea, he actually acted on it. He conducted over 1,000 experiments before finally succeeding with one. His persistence turned a mere thought into one of the greatest inventions of all time. And the same thing applies to your vision. Belief gives you the foundation, but action builds the reality. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is bridged by the daily choices you make. If you want a different outcome, start making different decisions. You need to shift your routines and align your behaviors with your vision and watch that momentum start to build. Success is not about massive leaps, it's about consistent steps in the right direction. And I know we live in a microwave society where everybody wants everything to happen tomorrow. When you have to understand that this is a 5-year plan, this is a 10-year plan. True wealth does not happen overnight. It's going to be a very long night. It might take 10 nights, 10 years of nights, or 20 years of nights for you to actually be at that wealth level that you want. So, but there's some things that you're going to have to do in order for those to even come true, because every major breakthrough comes with resistance. And Nehemiah had a vision to rebuild Jerusalem's walls, but Sanballat and Tobiah mocked and they threatened him. In Nehemiah 4, 1 through 3, but yet Nehemiah refused to stop building. He declared, I am doing a great work and I cannot come down, right? And when you see yourself and you set a new vision for yourself, distractions and fear and doubt are always going to try to pull you back. And this is where that NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming principles that Tony Robbins always teaches on, comes in to retrain your subconscious by changing your internal dialogue, replacing doubt with certainty, shifting fear into action. If you think about this, if your fear is in the driver's seat, your vision will never reach its destination. So you have to take back control. You have to be the one that says, this is my life. God has ordained these steps ahead of me, and I am going to fulfill my purpose for his will in this world, right? In fact, James 2:17 says what? It reminds us that faith without works is dead. A vision without action is just a fantasy. Joseph didn't just dream about a leadership, he took action, right? He didn't just say, hey, brothers, I got this dream and this is what's going to happen, and just wait and see. No, they got mad at him, sold him, they threw him in a pit. He got sold into slavery and all these things, but God started to develop him for that dream that he had. And he took action no matter what. He managed Potiphar's house, he was in prison. He still interpreted dreams in prison. He continued to step in his purpose, and he ultimately led a nation. And Tony Robbins teaches the path to success is to take massive, determined action. In fact, think about Elon Musk, right? Everybody hates him right now because of his position with the government. But imagine if he never risked everything that he had in order to bring his vision to life. See, if you don't know, he started the company PayPal, and then when he sold it, he invested his whole entire fortune into Tesla and SpaceX, companies that he thought would fail. I've heard him say in multiple interviews, I thought Tesla was going to fail, and SpaceX, we're on our fourth launch. If it did not go correctly, our company would be bankrupt and we'd lose it all, right? He faced the bankruptcies, the ridicule from people, extreme pressure, but yet he continued to move forward with relentless action. And his ability to take massive action and determined action turn those ventures into the most influential companies in the world. He's the most wealthiest person in the world according to net worth, right? From what we can see, online and what it tells us, he's the most wealthiest man in the world. And that same principle that he applied to his vision applies to yours and mine and everybody else that's watching it and the people that are around you listening. When you fully commit, you take bold steps and refuse to quit, success becomes inevitable. You don't have to know every step. You just have to know that you need to start, because progress is going to create momentum, or dreams will stay dreams until action makes them reality. So just take the first step now. Don't be scared of it. Just take it, right? In Habakkuk 2:3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it. His delays are not denials. Just because you think it's not happening on your time does not mean it's not going to happen. It means if you have a vision, trust that it's going to come. The journey is going to shape you into the person who can handle it. So if you want the success, you have to be willing to endure that because it's going to come. In fact, if you look at David, right, he was anointed king as a little boy, young boy, I shall say, maybe teenager or so, from what we can see from ancient scriptures. But he didn't take the throne for years. And during that time, he fought battles, hid in caves, but he developed something. He developed a, a wisdom and trust in God and resilience that prepared him to lead a nation. Each trial that he went through actually refined his character, teaching him patience and building that reliance on God's timing rather than his own. The struggles that he had weren't setbacks, they were necessary preparations for his destiny. And your waiting season is your preparation season. Like I said earlier, a delay is not a denial. It's just God aligning everything for your breakthrough. If you ever felt like you were abandoned by people, by circumstances, or even by life itself, know this: God has never abandoned you. He doesn't leave his children behind, but he does allow them to be strengthened through challenges, right? Why did he let the children of Israel go through? It was supposed to be like 11-day journey and took like hundreds of years. Why? Because they needed to be molded into the people that he can trust with the promise. Or else they would have got there and they would have been worshiping all the things that he shouldn't have been worshiping, and the past generations had to die off in order for the new generation to be able to step in, right? If you think about if you're a parent, right? My fifth kid is due now in 19 days. My fifth child will be due in 19 days. So thinking of your children, or even if you've seen people with children, when they're learning to walk, kids are going to stumble, right? And a loving parent doesn't just intervene in every step. Instead, we allow that child to develop a strength and balance and confidence. And likewise, God also allows us to navigate hardships, not to harm us, but to shape us into who we are meant to be. Because your waiting season isn't about punishment, it's about preparation. If you go back to Joseph again, right? Like I said, he was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, later in prison, but yet he never lost sight of God's vision for his life. God put something on his heart that even the hardships were going to refine his character, build a resilience, and position him for leadership roles that he was destined for. And likewise, your waiting season is not wasted time, it's a divine setup for the greatness that is ahead of you. Trust that God is using this time to shape you into the person that you need to become, because the promise He has prepared for you, and just trust that He is still working even when you can't see it. I always tell my children, right, when they ask me about God, I say, just, do you feel the wind? Do you see the wind? And they say, no, but do you feel it? Yes, that's God. He's always moving, He's always working, even when you can't see it. So always remember that no matter what, He's always working. And if He puts something on your heart, just take every step towards it, and He will do the rest, right? He says that if you sow the seed, He'll bring the water. So just sow the seeds and know that He'll bring the water. You can't make it rain. The government tries by seeding clouds, but they mess with our weather and they're damaging the earth. God will allow it to rain and He'll allow it to dry when He wants it according to His will. There's a reason why some land is cursed and it cannot grow anything because He has cursed it. But there's other reasons why other pieces of land are flourishing, beyond and having so much abundance in fruits and veggies and in life and all these kinds of things, right? And this is where your faith and your vision are going to come together. When you embrace the process, you begin to see setbacks as set ups for something greater. Because every challenge and every moment of waiting is a step toward your transformation. Now, as you move into the final piece of this, let's take everything that we've learned and we apply it boldly into our lives. Remember that your purpose isn't just about success, it's also about your impact. So align your vision and with your values, and you will create a ripple effect that's going to transform lives around you, right? So ask yourself today, what visions am I allowing myself to believe in? What distractions do I need to eliminate? And what action can I take to step into my future? Because remember, vision isn't just about seeing the future, it's about creating it. So step into it boldly, knowing that you will focus on what expands you. Take a moment to reflect on what you're currently occupying in your mind. Are you dwelling on obstacles or are you focusing on opportunities? Shift your mindset today and just write down one actionable thing you can do. Take step to bring your vision closer to reality and then commit to those steps. Small, consistent action is going to build that momentum, and that momentum is going to break through, right? You don't need more resources. You need to be more resourceful. And your next level is already within you. For instance, think about this. It's not the resources that you need because God made you a resource. He is the source, you are the resource, and you need to be resourceful. So everything you need is already inside of you. You just have to find it. You have to, you have to shape it, you have to mold it. You have to allow yourself to be on the potter's wheel long enough to be shaped into that thing, right? But you actually have to get there. You have to put yourself there. You have to start moving. And Zig Ziglar said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So let's build that life with your vision, your purpose, and gain that unstoppable momentum. Your vision is your permission. If you can see it, you can have it. What did I say earlier? Bob Proctor said, if you can see it in your head, you can have it in your hands. So as you step forward after this video, after you're done with this, as you carry this vision with confidence, you're on your journey of growth, faith, and transformation. And no matter where you are right now, your next level is awaiting for you. So keep pushing forward, keep believing it, and keep taking action. And I pray that you have a blessed week ahead. I pray this video blesses you, it keeps with you. You keep coming back to it when you need to catch a word. But this message is for you, and I want you to stay inspired. I want you to keep taking bold steps ahead. I want you to allow your faith to bring you closer to what life has called you to be. If you did find this valuable, please like it, comment, and share with anybody you know that can also benefit from it. And as always, stay blessed by the best. I'll catch you in the next video.